Hi everyone, a very good morning to all of you watching this video. I am Manat Sharma from Olive Board and I'm here with the live mint analysis that we do every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 8 a.m. Okay, so every alternative day we take up important news articles from the newspaper. It's not like I don't cover news from Tuesday or Thursday. I do cover them as well. Okay, and this analysis is very important from your exam point of view. Okay, especially your RBI and about all the regulatory body examinations because most of the questions are asked from economy and finance. However, in this analysis, I try and bring in the entire holistic understanding of the newspaper. So let us not waste time. Let's begin with the session. I hope my audio and video is clear to all of you, so that just let me know in the comment section so that we can have the class in a smooth and continuous manner. Fine. So, Darshan, a very good morning to you. I hope you're doing well. Okay, so before I begin, you can download this YouTube class PDF from the Olive Board app. Just go to the courses section. There's going to be a separate YouTube class PDFs folder. You can download the PDF from here. All right, chaliye. Now let's see what are we going to cover in today's session. That is first of all most important. Let's take a brief overview. Firstly, we're going to talk about India's credit rating. We have had a third credit rating upgrade in financial year 26. Okay, so this is the third time we are having a credit rating upgrade. Let's discuss about that. Can anyone tell me if you know, if you remember, if you have read the news, what which organization has again recently provided a credit rating very close so, a few days back we saw Fitch had provided a rating. Now which agency am I talking about? Second, we are going to talk about a news which is related to dark patterns, wherein we are going to understand what is the meaning of dark patterns. With growing online shopping, with growing technology, there are threats attached to it, right? There are threats that are attached to growing digitalization, right? One thing. So because of that, there's a problem of dark patterns, some unethical practices which these online e-commerce platforms and all they utilize. Fine. We're going to see what are the types of dark patterns, what are the methods used as dark patterns. Then we're going to talk about India plans to test inventory model for e-commerce exports. We're going to discuss what it is. Then Taiwanese steel imports, they approval fast tracked for the MSMEs. Then we're going to talk about this. Economy is resilient despite US tariffs. Now what has happened is that we saw that US has put in around 50% tariffs. We saw this. Now we need to know the impact as well, right? Has our exports, has our exports and imports been impacted or not? How are we diversifying it? The impact is important. Directly you can get a question, a descriptive writing answer question that analyze the impact of the 50% or the steep US tariffs that have been levied on India. Fine. So you can get a direct question related to that, and that is why news related to or articles related to this particular topic is very important. Then government fixes standard treatment guidelines for the hospitals, that we're going to discuss a few fact based news, and then we're going to do MCQs. Let's not waste time and let's begin with our session. The first important article over here is that India secures third credit rating upgrade in financial year 26. ठीक है, so India secured its third sovereign credit rating. Why credit rating is important? Because इसी से determine होगा, we are going to determine from here only whether the credit worthiness of the country is good or not, whether the country is going to pay back the loan on time or not. Fine. If this rating is good, that means people will be more willing to provide us with loans because they will have this confidence कि ठीक है, India is going to pay back this loan, so don't worry, we can lend them some money, है ना? So that confidence among the people is going to, the confidence among different countries, between different organizations, between different banks at the international level, they are going to have a good overview कि ठीक है, they'll be confident कि it's okay, it's good that India is always going to repay the loan, the credit worthiness of India is good, so not an issue, right? Then which agency has provided, now which agency has provided the rating, Japan's rating and investment information. Okay, so RNI. So it is rating and investment information, which is Japan's credit rating agency. They have upgraded India's status from triple B low to triple B plus with a stable outlook. So directly you can get a question that according to RNI, India's credit rating has been upgraded to what? So it has been upgraded from triple B low to triple B plus with a stable outlook. With a stable outlook. Okay, you have to remember this, learn this. Okay, we have also had similar upgrades. For example, in August we had upgrade by S&P Global. We have Morningstar DBRS in May 2025. We've had the Fitch ratings, right? This enhances India's standing in global capital markets. So, what is going to be the impact of this rating upgrade? Our standing in the global capital markets is going to improve. Ticket is going to improve. Our status is going to improve. It enables cheaper and more predictable access to funds for both government and private sectors. So we will be able to get and have access to good amount of funds. It is going to it reflects strong fundamentals and fiscal discipline of the country. Now, what are the reasons for the upgrade? So, you can even get a descriptive question related to this, that recently India has been receiving a credit rating upgrade by different agencies. Highlight the reasons behind the upgrade. And such kind of a question can be asked in the exam. So, remember what are the reasons? Firstly, buoyant tax revenues. That means we are having good amount of tax revenues. Okay, buoyant. Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of buoyant tax revenues? When I use the word buoyant tax revenues, what does it mean? Any idea? What is the meaning of buoyant tax? Can anyone tell me in the comment section? Secondly, fiscal discipline and reduced deficit in the country. We are seeing that fiscal deficit is quite controlled than before. Right? Then domestic demand resilience. Our demand is also increasing, which is quite good. Public investment and government reforms are quite good. Then external resilience has been maintained, low foreign debt, manageable current account deficit, steady inflows from services and remittances. Right? These are the reasons for the upgrade. Okay? Now, here I'm going to explain you what is buoyant tax revenue. Just understand that as your GDP base increases, as the base of the economy increases, that means more and more people are getting into the ambit of the tax bracket. Then that means, and more revenue is being collected because of this increase in the tax base. That is what is called a buoyant tax. That means as our tax base is increasing, as more and more people are increasing, as the population is increasing, as the population is coming under the ambit of the taxation scenario, our tax revenues are also increasing. That is what is the meaning of buoyant tax revenue. I hope this is clear to all of you. It means the revenue is good from GST or say tax. Government revenue increases more than proportionately to a rise in GDP. Absolutely correct, Sudarshan. Okay? So, as your GDP is increasing, or as your GDP is increasing, your revenue is increasing, or you can say the tax base is increasing, so your revenue is increasing, or more and more people are coming in the ambit of taxation. So, taxation is increasing, revenue is increasing. That is what is the meaning of buoyant tax revenues. Fine. Then, if I talk about the economic projections, these have also been mentioned in the article. So, India's economy is projected to grow 6.5% in financial year 26. This is according to RBI's estimate. Growth is going to remain in the mid 6% range beyond financial year 26. And the reasons are good domestic demand, population growth, catch up effect of income, government's public investment, and economic policies. If I talk about the fiscal targets, then fiscal deficit is going to narrow to 4.4%. That is what is our target for financial year 26. Right? Good morning, Bhakti. No problem. Long term path of fiscal consolidation is underway. Government debt ratio is expected to fall. That means the debt out of the total government GDP, that ratio is expected to fall. External debt to GDP ratio is low. Debt to GDP ratio in the sense how much debt you are taking out of the total GDP. That is what is called debt to GDP ratio. This is low. That means we are taking less borrowings. Foreign exchange reserves are sufficient to cover imports and short term external debts. Current account deficit remains low. External risks are limited. So, because of this, we have seen a good rating. If we talk about the global comparison, according to Moody's, what is our rating? Baa3, which is a stable outlook. According to Fitch, our it's triple B minus with a stable outlook. Okay, this also both are with a stable outlook. So Ministry of Finance welcomed this RNI's decision, calling it recognition of India's macro stability, reforms and resilience. So always remember, you have to remember the impact of, okay, for your descriptive writing I am telling you over here, study the proper impact. Write down a paragraph on this. Okay, write down a paragraph on this impact of credit rating upgrade for India. Okay, because we've had three credit rating upgrades right now, so this becomes important. So for your descriptive writing this becomes important. Write down a paragraph related to this, write down a note related to this. Okay, fine, chale, let's move on to the next article. ASCI to educate children on risks of dark patterns. I have a question for all of you. Do you know the meaning of dark patterns? What are dark patterns? Anyone? What is the meaning of dark patterns? Can anyone explain? Any idea? Any guesses? Any idea? This has been in news. This has been in news. This was in last year also in news. This has been in news since a few years. Any idea? Yeah, of course it's kind of something bad only, Sudarshan, but it is related to the digital, you can say the digital scenario or digitization, you can consider it. Anyone else who wants to answer? Negative growth in something, not even negative growth in something. Design tactics, nudge, yes, but this nudge is, in the negative sense. See, dark patterns are certain patterns when you're doing online shopping. So when you do online shopping, you might have seen, they provide you with flash sales and a 90% off and a 90% off on this item. Or you can say sometimes what happens is that when you are adding things to your cart, they automatically, an extra item is added to your cart, and an extra item is added to your cart without you knowing. Acha, when you buy that thing, there are certain hidden charges which you are unaware of, है ना, and they charge you with some hidden charges. ठीक है? So, and they display some kind of product, and along with that, they have hidden rules or hidden, you can say, hidden attached prices or charges which makes the product expensive at the end. Right now they might show you that the product is of 300 rupees, but when you put it in the cart, then it becomes 900 rupees. First they nudge you for a few days that you should buy this at 300, 300, 300, and then later you get to know that it's of 900. है ना? These are some tactics that they use. है ना? They are going to nudge you a lot to buy a particular product. ठीक है, they're going to buy in a negative sense. This becomes extremely, this they a sense of urgency is created that you should buy that thing. So this is actually deceiving the customers. This is deceiving the customers. Okay, so this is something negative that we're talking about. So ASEI, Advertising Standards Council of India, is going to educate children about these dark patterns. Okay, what are these dark patterns? These are deceptive online designs which trick the users into unwanted purchases or sign-ups or sharing data. Sometimes what happens is that when you sign up, signing up is easy. है ना, कि ठीक है, monthly or say 50 rupees are going to be cut from your account. But then once you sign up, बाद में you get to know कि अच्छा there are some attached charges also, 50 rupees plus 50 अलग से you have to provide for the first 6 months, maybe something like that. Or for the first 6 months 50 rupees, then it is going to increase to 100 rupees. And then sign up is easy, but then getting out of it is difficult. These are certain dark patterns. These are deceptive online design which tricks the users into unwanted purchases or sign ups or sharing the data. ठीक है. So this Advertising Standards Council of India, it has launched a pilot program for, children have been the focus here, and so that we can educate these children. Advertising literacy in schools should be provided, and we are starting off with Delhi NCR. What is the goal? To teach kids the commercial intent of advertising and how to ask the right questions before believing in ads, because children, they easily believe in ads. They're easy to they're easy to mold, right? They're easy to mold. So that is one reason. So what are the issues that are being addressed over here? Online safety, sharing details, discerning ads, all these, right? This has been supported by the Consumer Protection Act of 2019, Guidelines for Protection and Regulation of Dark Patterns 2023. Remember the statutory backing for these. Okay? ASCI is also planning a e-learning modules and company training. So, what are dark patterns? They refer to deceptive and manipulative design strategies which are used in websites, mobile applications, digital platforms. They basically intentionally try to mislead you, they try to confuse you, they pressure the users into buying a particular product, making a particular choice. Okay, this dark pattern term was coined in 2010 by user experience specialist Harry Brignall. Okay, so remember who has coined this term? Harry Brignall. The term dark patterns in 2010. Such practices exploit consumer psychology to advance business goals. They weaken the consumer autonomy, fairness, transparency. Okay, so these are the typical dark patterns. For example, false urgency. So what do? Is they create a false sense of urgency or scarcity. 90% off, only one left, hurry up, out of stock, like that, these kind of things. Then differential pricing. They use algorithms to determine pricing basis. For example, the flight prices in quick commerce apps, the prices are reflected differently. Prices, if you prices from particular area might be different, from another area might be different, and that is based on the user's device or location. Then interface experience manipulates the user interface to mask or highlight certain specific information. They might provide you with extra charges, or extra subscription fees, which is not really necessary. Then forced action. It compels the users into taking unwanted actions. Forced sign-ups, that you'll be able to move further only if you sign up. Sign-ups will be easy, but getting out of it is going to be difficult. Okay, they might take your number so that they can keep sending you messages and ads and all in your number. Then another form is basket sneaking. Okay, what will they do is that you are adding some things to your cart. They automatically add a discounted item in your cart, a third item in your cart, or they might even charge a hidden fees, or they might ask for donations, they might ask for tips, like that. Then, confirm shaming, criticizing or attacking users to guilt them into complying. For example, subscription prompts, exit prompts. So they try to guilt you into buying that particular thing. For example, they keep showing you related, cancerous related things so that you can, put your money in that. Okay, then they can also, another pattern is subscription traps, making deleting accounts or ending subscriptions extremely complicated. Deleting a account is so complicated that you prefer not to delete only then. Then bait and switch, advertising one product or service but delivering something else, often of lower quality. You might have heard so many news hai na, that Flipkart pe you ordered iPhone 16 or iPhone 15 and you got stones, है ना? Or they might show that this product or this dress is very beautiful, but then they give you a very fake product. All these are methods, or of dark patterns. Okay, you should know these. Okay, I hope the concept of dark pattern is clear to all of you. Government has taken measures. For example, we have the Central Consumer Protection Authority, which has taken measures to counter these practices. है ना? Then under the Consumer Protection Act 2019, this we have the CCPA. Special guidelines have been introduced in 2023 targeting these dark patterns. ठीक है? Then digital tools like Jago Grahak Jago app, ना? You have this advertising also, है ना? Jago Grahak Jago, like that, है ना? So they try to nudge you. Then Jagriti dashboard you have that has been launched. Okay, so through this, the CCPA is able to monitor, identify, take suo moto action against any kind of unfair trade practice. Okay, so I hope the concept of dark patterns is clear to all of you. Again, a descriptive question can be asked from here. That what are dark patterns? A question can be asked here. What are dark patterns? Okay, what are some typical tactics? What are some typical tactics that online firms use, that online firms or online e-commerce platforms use to deceive customers? So you can talk about all those items, है ना? And discuss the steps to be taken in this regard, है ना? So such kind of a question can be asked. You can write down an answer related to this. Okay, next, India plans to test inventory model for e-commerce exports. So government is going to test this inventory based model for e-commerce exports. Currently, what is the current rule, that foreign funded e-commerce companies can only operate as marketplaces. Okay, right now what is happening is that these foreign funded e-commerce companies, which are funded by some foreign country, these companies are going to operate only as marketplaces, the buyers and sellers connecting them. But now these companies can buy goods locally also, they can stock them also, they can directly sell abroad. This is the new proposal. Okay? And first launch is going to be with UK under the new FTA, free trade agreement. Okay? This will boost foreign direct investment. India targets $100 billion FDI by financial year 26, so this is going to boost FDI. Okay? Gujarat is considered as a preferred state to host the pilot project. So in Gujarat, we are going to host this first or pilot project. Okay? Then who's going to implement it? It is going to be overseen by Directorate General of Foreign Trade, DGFT, and India US talks are also resumed on 16th September 2025. Fine, and policy changes are happening and all, right? This is just a news related to this. Fine. Then we have a news related to Taiwanese steel import approvals, which have been fast tracked for the MSMEs. So, what is the government doing? It is trying to fast track the Bureau of Indian Standards approvals, BIS approvals. Okay, the government is trying to fast track the BIS approvals for Taiwanese integrated steel plants. Okay, this is going to help the MSMEs secure raw materials under the Quality Control Order of June 2025. What is going to be the impact on MSMEs? This will enable import of intermediate steel products. Now, what will the MSMEs able to do? They will be able to import intermediate steel products, which is going to add value and boost the exports as well. Okay, now what was happening was that around July 2025, MSMEs, they were having a lot of delay due to these BIS approvals. There was a lot of delay for the Taiwan steel plants, and some were pending since July 2025. So now we are trying to fast track it so that the MSMEs can continue with this. They can continue with the production. Okay, some already, if we talk about this Taiwan steel plants, and some already have the required machinery to qualify as integrated steel mills, but they await BIS approval. So this BIS approval thing is being fast tracked. Okay, imports from Taiwan stalled since June due to regulatory delays. That was the problem. Okay, then economy is resilient despite the US tariffs, fiscal tightening. Okay, so we economy is resilient. This is the news, that despite these US tariffs, these steep US tariffs of 50%, still our economy is resilient. Okay, so despite fiscal consolidation, slowing credit growth, US trade frictions, India's economy remains resilient. ठीक है fiscal, if we talk about fiscal deficit, it has reduced in financial year 25, reduced by 80 basis points, 25 reduced by 80 basis points, and by financial year 26 another 40 basis points reduction can be seen. Okay, and if we talk about credit growth, in March 24 it was 16.3%, May 2025 9.8%. Despite this reduction, the economy has remained resilient. ठीक है. If I talk about RBI stance and the GST support, RBI has softened the stance, eased liquidity. GST cuts we can see, fiscal stimulus we have seen, which is going to boost growth outlook. Even at 25% tariff, impact is limited. 50% now, है ना, 25 plus 25, impact is limited. Global prices remain volatile due to currency debasement and China slowdown. Core inflation is stable, headline inflation is reduced. ठीक है. Next article is that government fixes standard treatment guidelines for hospitals and clinics. So government has fixed certain treatment guidelines for hospital and clinics. They must follow uniform processes for cardiology, pulmonology, dermatology, and other treatments. Okay, this is what is the news about. 157 standard treatment workflows have been notified by the center. How many? 157 standard treatment workflows. We have the NMC, the National Medical Commission, which circulated the notice. Hospitals and medical colleges must adopt them. Developed with inputs from NMC, ICMR, National Health Authority, WHO. Right? What is the aim? Ensure a consistent, evidence based, high quality care. Reduce inconsistencies caused by varying doctor practices. ठीक है. 28 medical specialties covered in the STWs. ठीक है. For example, heart failure STW provides a standardized plan including ECG, chest X-ray, oxygen therapy, medicines. ICMR is conducting nationwide training sessions also for effective implementation. Fine. So this was all the important news. Apart from that, we have a few fact-based news also. You can say viewpoints as well. For example, next net direct taxes up by 9%, refunds down by 24%. So direct taxes have increased, they have been increased by 9% and refunds have also decreased by 24%. ठीक है. So direct tax collections rose over 9% in this fiscal year, 10.83 trillion rupees till 17 September. ठीक है. Period has been covered from 1st April to 17 September. Gross tax revenue before refunds grew 3.4% to 12.43 trillion rupees. And how much tax refunds have been issued? 1.61 trillion, which have decreased by 24%. ठीक है. Then fall in refunds boosted net personal income tax revenue by 13.67%. Okay, so government's direct tax revenue has increased. And we were seeing this news in a few days back, this problem that, because of these GST cuts and all, the government's revenue might decrease. But here you can see this news that, direct tax revenue has increased. Advanced corporate tax collections rose 6.1% to 3.52 trillion rupees. Advanced non-corporate tax collections fell 7.3% to 96,784 crore. Decline has been linked to new tax relief in Union Budget 25 and growth reflects modest rise in gross receipts and sharp drop in refunds. ठीक है? Next news is related to spice adulteration. Food safety watchdog sniffs for spice adulteration. So FSI has launched nationwide month-long spice crackdown to fight adulteration and protect public health. Now, in these spices, you might have heard that turmeric, है ना, it's mostly color in turmeric, है ना. That means there is being adulteration, mixing of colors or mixing of unhealthy stuff in spices, and that is why FSI, Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, it is bringing up a nationwide action. Okay, wherein for a month they're going to crack down on any kind of spice adulteration starting from 1st October. And what are the target spices? Black pepper, ठीक है, black pepper, cardamom, chili, cinnamon, coriander, cumin, turmeric. These are the spices that are going to be targeted. Fine. What is the reason? We want to safeguard public health, protect India's $20 billion spice market. It also coincides with the festive season and follows earlier checks revealing widespread non compliance. India's global spice reputation has been dented. That is why, for example, in Singapore, our spices were, controlled, or you could say prohibited, because they said that there's presence of ethylene oxide, which is a carcinogen. It causes cancer. Okay, so that is one reason. So orders have been issued to the state and UT commissioners for inspection, sampling and manufacturing units. Samples will be sent to accredited labs, and in those labs testing is going to be done based on certain parameters. Okay, and report we are going to get by 20th November. And adulterants like ethylene oxide, they may cause cancer, DNA damage, nervous system harm, and that is why we are the FSI is scrutinizing on this. Okay, so the objective is a dual approach. We need to protect citizens' health and we have to safeguard economic interests also at the global level. Fine. Next news is related to this Hindenburg charge on Adani. So you remember that a few years back, 2 3 years back, we had this Hindenburg, which is a short seller firm. I hope you know what is the meaning of short selling. Does anyone know what is the meaning of short selling? Hindenburg is a short seller. Anyone aware of what is the meaning of short selling? What is a short selling firm? Any idea? So SEBI has cleared Adani of this Hindenburg charge. What is this news about? Adani Group and the top executives, they were, allegations were put in that they were manipulating. है ना? They were bypassing the related party transaction rules. So there's something known as related party transaction rules. Right? So Adani, Hindenburg had claimed that Adani Group was bypassing these related party transaction rules. The allegations involved routing funds through three companies, but SEBI said that these transactions were not illegal at the time. So what are these allegations? That Adani Group through three companies was diverting funds. So stock manipulation was being done. SEBI investigation began after Hindenburg report in January 2023. Because SEBI's order stated that Adicorp, Milestone, Raver were not related parties of Adani companies when the transactions occurred. So what they were saying is that these related party transactions ka violation that you are saying. So Hindenburg said that Adani Group is violating the related party transaction rules. But when Adani Group got into transactions with Adicorp, Milestone, and Raver, at that point of time they were not related parties. Later on, they became related party, related parties, but at the time of transactions they were not related parties. Okay. So the amended RPT definition in 2021 was not retroactively applied. So retroactively applied in the sense, see, in 2021 we had brought in the related party transactions. Okay, the rules related to related party transactions. But these whatever this Adani is being charged of those things. Adani is being charged of those things, at uh, when these related party transactions did not really, you can say, when these related party transactions rules were not applicable only at that point of time. Okay, so these RPT rules, they were not applicable during that time when Adani had got into these you can say related party transactions. Okay, that is why they are saying that it was not retroactively applied. SEBI has removed Adani of any of these charges. Okay, there was no evidence that amendments in RPT definitions were influenced by Adani related considerations. And overall, the report concluded Adani Group did not breach any kind of related party transaction laws. Fine. Okay, I hope this is clear to all of you. Fine. Next, we have a news related to inequality could threaten social stability and slow growth down. Okay, what is this news about? The article counters World Bank's claim that India is the fourth most equal country. What have we mentioned in this article? That World Bank said that India is the fourth most equal country. Do you actually think that equality is, we are the fourth most equal country? In this article, World Bank's claim has been refuted. Because inequality, especially in horizontal inequality, is very much, it is a lot in the country. Okay, so the article counters World Bank's claim that India is the fourth most equal country. Horizontal inequalities determine access to resources, opportunities, and upward mobility, and have major impacts on social and political stability. What is the meaning of horizontal inequality? When there is a gap between the different people. Horizontally, there is a gap between different people based on caste, religion, gender, class, religion, age, based on that. Okay, India's progress on poverty reduction and development indicators has not benefited all segments equally. Marginalized groups and poorer regions like Bihar, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Odisha, they lag behind the other states. Then how can you say that India is the fourth most equal country? There are structural and historical forces that have contributed to these inequalities. Okay, there's absence of robust, updated data on inequality, reliance on artificial estimates. They can mislead policy. Recent farmers' agitations and caste protests in Maharashtra, Gujarat, Haryana, as well as uprisings in South Asia reflect risks posed by growing group-based inequalities. So there are rising horizontal inequalities. Then how can World Bank say that inequality has reduced in India and we are the fourth most equal country? Those claims are all wrong. Okay? Then we have this small. This was a small news over here that India's power sector CO2 emissions fall in first half. See, carbon dioxide emission reduction is one of the most important factor as of now. Okay, this is the major goal that we have to reduce these CO2 emissions. That is what is our target. So what they're saying is that India's carbon dioxide emissions from power sector fell by 1% year on year. Over the past 12 months, emissions fell by 0.2%. This is only the second decline in power sector CO2 emissions in nearly 5 decades. Okay, and the findings they come from a study conducted by Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air in collaboration with UK-based Carbon Brief. Okay, so basically our target is that we have to reduce the CO2 emissions, है ना, so that we can become a clean, India or a clean world. That is why CO2 emission reduction is the need of the hour. So here we have this that power sector say CO2 emissions have been reduced. ठीक है? Now we are going to do a few MCQs and I will just be back in 1 minute. I just need to do something important. ठीक है? Just wait for 1 minute, everyone. Okay, so my phone was dead and I was not able to see your messages. That is why. Okay, let me just open it. All right. Yes. Chalo. Okay. So Rupesh has given me the answer. A term of stock market where someone shorts the stock, selling stock without owning. Ha, Anurag. Right. Rupesh, see, short selling. What is the meaning of short selling? Let's try and understand. In case of when we talk about a short seller firm, what does this firm do? It does not own any kind of stock. It borrows the stock. Okay, it borrows any kind of shares and all, then sells it and then buys it back. Okay, say it buys at a lower price. It buys at 100 rupees per share. Okay, it borrows it from someone, sells it in the stock market at a lower price, and then at a higher price. It sells in the stock market at a higher price, and when the price reduces, it buys that stock again and then gives it back to the owner. So basically, you don't own the stock, you're not owning the stock. Okay, you are just borrowing it, then earning from the price differential and then returning it back to the owner. That is what is called short selling. So Hindenburg is a short seller firm. This term is very important. Okay, just read about this. Fine. Chalo, let's do a few MCQs now. Let's see whether you guys have understood or not. And for those of you who have, joined late or joined later on, है ना, you can also try. First question: which country is India partnering with first to pilot the inventory based model for e-commerce exports? US, UK, Japan, Australia. What is the answer? Apart from that, if there's anyone new over here, you can connect with me on Telegram. Mannat Educator is my Telegram handle. Just type Mannat Educator and you will have access to my Telegram group. Ashish has given me the answer. What about others? Anurag, Rupesh, Bhakti, Sudarshan, Mukund. What is the answer? Which country is India partnering with first to pilot the inventory based model for e-commerce exports? And which is the state where this pilot project is going to be implemented? Which state? Which state? Who's going to tell me? Any idea which state? Ashish is saying D, Sudarshan D, Bhakti, UK, Rupesh, Japan. The correct answer is UK, guys. UK के साथ, India is going to partner for this inventory based model. Only Bhakti has given me the correct answer. Very good. And which state is going to be the first where the pilot project is going to be implemented? It is Gujarat. Okay? In Gujarat, this is going to be implemented. Fine? Chaliye. Second question. Why is the Indian government fast tracking BIS approvals for Taiwanese steel imports to help MSMEs secure raw materials and boost exports? To promote Taiwan India FTA, to reduce customs duty on imported steel, to support Indian large scale steel manufacturers. What is the correct answer? Why is the Indian government fast tracking BIS approvals for Taiwanese steel imports? Second question. Quickly give me the answer, all of you. Ashish says C. Rupesh has given me D as the answer. Reason for fast tracking BIS approvals for Taiwanese steel imports. Bhakti has given me 2A as the answer. A is absolutely correct. To help MSME secure raw materials and boost exports. To promote Taiwan India FTA, no. To reduce custom duty on imported steel, no. To support Indian large scale steel manufacturers, no. This is for the MSMEs, not for large scale steel manufacturers. ठीक है आशीष रुपेश? Fine. Next question. Question number 3. According to Neelkant Mishra, what recent policy measures have boosted India's growth outlook despite the global challenges? Increase in CRR and repo rate, reduction in corporate tax rate, introduction of new import tariffs, RBI softer stance and GST cuts equivalent to 0.5% of GDP. What factors have boosted India's growth outlook despite global challenges? Quickly give me the answer. D. Absolutely correct. RBI softer stance and GST cuts equivalent to 0.5% of GDP. Absolutely correct. ठीक है? Next question. In financial year 26, Japan's rating and investment information upgraded India's sovereign credit rating from triple B low to which level? A minus stable outlook, triple B plus stable outlook, triple B positive outlook, triple B minus stable outlook. What is the correct answer? So C, triple B, 4B, the correct answer is B, triple B plus stable outlook. ठीक है? So remember, triple B plus, not minus, stable outlook. Fitch में we have triple B minus. ठीक है? Fitch में triple B minus. Here RNI triple B plus. ठीक है? Sudarshan, Anurag, Bhakti, Rupesh, Ashish. Next question. What is the primary aim of ASCI's new initiative for children mentioned in the article? To promote entrepreneurship among school children, to provide free digital gadgets for online learning, to build advertising literacy and protect children from dark patterns, to regulate school advertisements only. What is the correct answer? Fifth question, Ashish has given me the answer. Rupesh, Anurag, Bhakti, Sudarshan. C is absolutely the correct answer, to build advertising literacy and protect children from dark patterns. I hope you guys have understood the meaning of dark patterns. ठीक है? चलिए. Next question. What is the primary aim of FSI's month long nationwide crackdown on spice manufacturers starting 1st October? To promote organic farming in India, to increase export duty on spices, to introduce new spice varieties in the market, to combat adulteration and safeguard public health. Sixth question. What is the right answer? Absolutely correct, all of you, to combat adulteration and safeguard public health. Very good. Very good, all of you. Seventh question. As per recent CBDT data, why did net direct tax revenues show significant growth despite modest gross receipts? Increase in corporate sector profits only, sharp decline in tax refunds issued, higher GST collections, rise in custom duty collections. Again, very easy question. Let me see who will answer it correctly. Seventh question. Ashish and Sudarshan have given me the answer. What about others? Right, absolutely correct. Decline tax refunds issue. Right? Chaliye. Eighth question. The union government recently notified 157 standard treatment workflows. What is their primary objective? To ensure uniform evidence based treatment across hospitals, to promote medical tourism in India, to replace private healthcare guidelines with government ones, to reduce the number of doctors required in hospitals. What's the correct answer? Ashish A, Rupesh A. What about others? Bhakti A, Sudarshan A, which is absolutely correct, to ensure uniform, evidence based treatment across the hospitals. Right. Okay. Next question. According to the study, what is significant about the change in India's power sector CO2 emissions in the first half of 2025? It's the first increase in 5 decades. Emissions remained constant year on year. Emissions fell by 1%, making only the second decline in nearly 5 decades. CO2 emissions doubled compared to last year. Ninth question. Ashish, Anurag, Sudarshan have given me C as the answer. What about others? Bhakti also C, which is absolutely correct. Okay? So emissions fell by 1%, marking only the second decline in nearly 5 decades. Right. Okay? What is the main risk associated with rising horizontal inequalities in India? Increased GDP growth, political and social instability, rise in personal income, fall in global trade. What's the answer? Anurag and Ashish have given me B as the answer. The correct answer is B, political and social instability. Right. Okay? So that is all from my side, everyone. If you guys want to connect with me beyond these sessions, then Mannat Educator is my Telegram handle. You can connect with me over there. Apart from that, if you guys want to prepare for RBI Grade B and are preparing for it, you can join this crash course batch 4, wherein classes will be provided to you, study materials, descriptive writing, mock tests, a focus on MCQ, current affairs, and all. Everything will be provided to you, so you can enroll if you want. You can enroll now, right? Apart from that, if you want to take up this 60% off offer, we have this Navratri special offer for you. Just use the code SILHEB and you can avail an offer on all in one regulatory subscription. Okay? That is all from my side, everyone. I hope this session was helpful to all of you. Keep studying. I wish you all the best to everyone. Wish you best of luck for the examination. Just keep studying and put in the hard work that you can. Fine? Okay, Rupesh, Bhakti, Sudarshan, thank you to you guys as well for being constant in the classes, for regularly attending the class as well, है ना? Chalo. Take care, have a good day, keep studying, and see you all in my next one. Bye bye.